Alright, welcome to this training video called Preparing for Recording. So in this particular video, I'm going to be showing you what you need to do in order to actually prepare a session in order to start recording your song. So I'm going to be taking you through these steps in Logic Pro X, but you can pretty much transfer this information onto any DAW that you're using, because the steps are going to be essentially exactly the same. So what I'm going to do here is open up an empty project for Logic, and then it opens up like this. That won't pop up because that's just relevant to me recording on my computer at the moment. So you want to choose your first track. So for example, an audio track, then click Create, and that is all sorted there. So first thing you want to do, as always, is go to File, Save As, and get your project saved into a nice designated folder so that you don't lose your work. So next we just need to essentially set up the entire project so that it is ready for recording, because you don't want to, just kind of come into here and pretty much just go straight to hitting the record button. It's good to actually just take a moment to, get everything properly organized, essentially, so that you know what it is that you're going to be doing and what's going to be going on, and so that everything is very clear whilst you're using it. So first thing you want to do is just to get your tempo set. So as I mentioned in the GarageBand video, I do believe, you want to essentially use a tap tempo or something like that, find out what the tempo of your song is, and get that all set up, and also your time signature as well, and also you can choose the key of your song if you want to. And then from there, you just want to, you can either start with just one track, or you can do what I do, where I actually like to start creating a few tracks of the instruments I know I'm going to be recording when I sit down to do, some recording in this session on a particular day. So for example, if I'm planning to record, let's say bass guitar, I might name it that. You can actually, where is it? Oh, what am I doing? So you can actually, if you do a, what would it be? A right click on that little symbol, you can choose like a little symbol there as well to just keep it really nice and organized. And then from there, I might add another track for a different instrument. So audio again, choose your input, and then that might be acoustic guitar. And once again, I might choose a symbol for that, something like that. And then another one. So I'm going to record electric guitar as well, and choose a symbol for that. So you get the gist. So whatever it is you're going to record, get it all set up like that. It's just really, really handy. So one thing that I really recommend doing as well before you start recording is to actually get some markers in. So what you want to do is, if you know how your song is structured at this point, then you want to add in, where your intro is, where your verses are, your chorus, things like that, so that once you go along the project timeline, what bit it is you're recording for and stuff like that. So this is a really helpful thing to do. Now, it might be the case that you have opened up this project and you are going to also be writing your song at the same time, which is something that I do quite a lot. So in this case, you might not be absolutely certain what the structure is, but even if you've just got like a rough idea, or you can use it as a guide to help you with writing as well, then I'd still recommend doing this. So you click on the little arrow here, and then for the arrangement bit, you want to go plus. And what I recommend doing as well is actually having a little count-in bar here, because essentially, even when you have this count-in bit selected, if you were to start recording from bar 1, after you're counting, then it's very possible that you might actually cut off a bit of the audio that you've recorded, because the audio will not get recorded before bar 1. So I usually always leave an extra counting bar, and then I actually start recording on bar 2. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to add a count in here. I'll just actually call it counting as well. And then I'll have my 8-bar intro. So that actually takes me up to bar 9. And then I'd have, you know, kind of like a verse, for example. And then you can have a chorus, and you can just use that little drag thing there, depending on how long it is. And, you know, you can, of course, like rename these whatever you want. So you just click on the actual name of it. You can rename, or they have kind of like these standard ones here. Another one there. Bridge. Etc. So one thing that you'll actually notice is that when you click that arrow again, then they disappear, and you know you haven't got anything to actually mark out your project. So that's obviously like a bit of a problem, and you don't really want to have that open all the time, because it's just going to look complicated and messy. So what you need to do is you need to use this marker part here. And if you just click where it says marker, and then you can click create from arrangement markers, and then boom, you have your markers literally copied down like that. And then when you close that one, then you can see you've got your markers for your project there. So really, really handy little tool. And one thing you can also do, which I recommend doing, is colouring them. So you can have your verses green, you could have your chorus yellow, your bridge purple, outro pink, something like that. And you can just see it just looks, you know, really smart, and it's really easy to read. So that's essentially what to do. Now, if you're going to go into recording, I don't recommend like adding, you know, effects in at this point. You know, you don't need to like, you know, add in an EQ, for example, before you actually start recording. You know, this is all for like the mixing phase, preferably. So you want to get into the habit of recording things that sound really good, pretty much just off the bat, without the need of effects. You know, just using things like mic positioning and levels and stuff like that. And then, you know, you can go in and use your processing to really kind of like, you know, just sharpen things up. So that's kind of like the approach you want to take. But that's how you start. So that's how you set up your session. This is what I recommend doing, following all of those steps, and then from there you are ready to start recording. And that's what we're going to be talking about over the next handful of videos. So let's dive right into that, and I'll leave this video as it is. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment box below. Cheers.